This is Desert Mogas. I'm here again with another video to explain the value of networking events and to actually do a profile on a very young man called Alexander Isak. He happens to be from Eritrea. I'm not somebody who's a nationalist, only going to talk about Ethiopians. A couple weeks ago, I was going to talk about Abel the Weekend because recently I went to a show. I spent $300 there, and anyways, people are familiar with this story. But when I heard this story, Eritrean, it's all one region. I look at East Africa as a region, just like North America as a region, different countries. Canada will never be the 51st state. Ethiopia and Eritrea will always be separate countries. Otherwise, why fight the war? But I'm not here to talk politics to you. I'm not here to talk politics. I'm here to talk about Alexander Isak. And actually, one thing I want to show you, because I'm Canadian. I am proud to be from East Africa, proud to be heritage. I mean, I've never met anyone from the region, East Africa, that's not proud. But I'm proud of Canada, and we need to buy Canadian. If we don't become Canada's #1 customer, top customer, now that we're losing the United States 35% tariff, it looks like, I hope Mark Carney is able to negotiate a deal that's closer to European Union, 15%. European Union, Japan, South Korea, many other countries of the G7. Basically, all of the G7 have a trade agreement, not free trade agreement, but a trade agreement with Trump. Anyways, we'll see what happens with that. But different countries, same region, and this is a success story because he just got 120 million. But back to Canada, I have something I want to show you. I don't know how it's gonna look on the video, but there's one company called Loop, L-O-O-P, Loop. I have no association, no affiliation with the company, but it's a Canadian company. You see? I think there was a Canadian flag somewhere. Maybe it was at the store, Food Basics. And Food Basics was also a Canadian company. Used to be A&P. A&P was the largest grocery store. Before Walmart was Walmart and anything, A&P, ampersand, I forgot what it was called. Anyways, A&P stands for something. But Food Basics was part of A&P, and then it became Metro bought it. Anyways, I'm not here to talk about Food Basics too. I get so many thoughts in my mind. But I'm here to talk about Loop, because everything you see at a grocery store, anything that you see at any grocery store, before the store sells something to you, they must first buy it from the manufacturer. And this is called Loop. I'm 100% sure it's a Canadian company, Loop. And it's actually cold pressed juice. Deep green. It's called deep green, and what's in it? Cucumber, celery, spinach, kale, ginger. And believe it or not, it tastes really good. It's not perfect. There's no added sugar. There's no chemicals added to it, I don't think. Yeah, pretty much all water, lemon juice. You can really taste the lemon. And I recommend it. If you can get to Food Basics or wherever it's sold close to you. Loop. Only problem is, of course, Canadian products are always more expensive, made in Canada, domestic, because we have higher wages, believe it or not. $18, $17 minimum wage. You look at any state in the United States, we're talking about federal minimum wage of $7 and whatever it is, $7.25. Most people get $15 or $16, maybe. But here it's a starting wage of $17, and that's not enough. People need $25, people need $30 an hour. But anyways, so that's why it's more expensive. When you have higher costs as a business, you have higher prices. You pay for the labor costs when you buy a product. So I recommend Loop to anyone. I have no association other than I tried them. I walked into a grocery store, I tried them. It's healthy. I guess it, moves things along in your digestive system, which is always a positive thing, rather than drinking, pure sugar or coffee every day. So Loop, they did a great job with cold pressed juice. And that's enough for that because I want to keep these videos shorter. So Alexander Isak, I have some notes here. He's an Eritrean football player born in Solna, Sweden. I think I have a picture. Yeah, there he is. Look at it. I printed this just for you, just to make the content more interesting for you. I mean, think of it. Aren't I a great guy? But there he is, Liverpool FC. and he got a contract, 125 million pounds. That's pounds, okay? British pounds, in order for the privilege of playing professional football for Liverpool FC. I'm hoping to God that it's Liverpool FC because I don't follow soccer at all. But I saw the color red. Yeah, LFC. So that's Liverpool. And, you know, that's because they wanted him, okay? They wanted his talents. And, you know, this is globalization at work. Globalization at work. His parents are Eritrean parents, of course. They found themselves in Sweden. They were able to stay there, permanent resident and then citizen. And, you know, he dedicated his life to football. Okay? If he was not born in Sweden, do you think he would be getting this 125 million? Do you think? The answer is no. Okay? So, talent is everywhere in the world. Opportunity is not. Clearly, Sweden, they have Solna. They call it Solna, Sweden. They have a great training regimen in there. You know, it's never one thing that makes somebody successful. And I'm sure when he first kicked the soccer ball, no one was there watching him. He was playing in empty fields. I'm sure, 100% sure of that, because that's how I feel right now. Nobody's in this room with me, but I like it because it's like a separation. I don't want to record. I don't want to be another guy that's just recording at home and, you know, distraction. Here, there's no distractions. Here's a studio, AV studio, and the only thing I'm going to do here is make videos. So, you know, it's great. But he received $125 million. He's going to be great. And it's not like you make that 120 and you get paid up front, 120 million. Only a fool would pay a large amount of money up front before anyone has even done anything for you. You do it in stages, okay, as he meets certain conditions. And, you know, it's a great story with his story. I wish him success. I wish him all the best in Liverpool. I'm sure we'll be watching him very soon, very quickly. I hope very much. And I hope he stays healthy. That's the most important thing in sports, is to stay healthy, and in life, to be honest, is staying healthy. And I think the story with Alexander Isak is nobody pays you for training. Nobody pays you for practice. Okay? When you're practicing, you're alone. You're doing it out of the love of the game. You're doing it out of making a positive difference in the future. Nobody believes in you. I'm sure hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of people told him he'll never become a professional soccer player, let alone play for Liverpool. Okay? Now he's the best. Okay? Otherwise, he wouldn't be getting that kind of money. And you get what you're worth. You don't become a professional and then learn how to do the job after you get the money. You do the practice, you do the training before you get the offer. Okay? So every single day, do something new, do something creative, do something that's out of love for humanity, do something that's for delighting the customer, delighting the client, even if the client is not paying you. Okay? You always got to give people a free trial. It reminds me of when I was in school. People would always ask, high school, elementary school, is this for marks? If it's not for marks, I'm not going to do it. If the homework is not for marks, I'm not going to do it. Think of it. You're given an opportunity, taxpayer-funded education, and you're not going to put 100% effort on it? Now, you might say it's boring, and I get that. I've been there. Believe me, much of school is boring. I get that. That's why I call this informative entertainment. And hopefully my videos are not boring. But you get what you're worth. And if there's no training today, no organization is going to make you an offer, because you got to make people want it. Not make people, but get people to consider your talents, your thoughts, your ideas, your abilities, capabilities. And yeah, it's got to be a daily thing. Not to say that you got to make a video or you got to practice every day, but it needs to be consistent. All you can do is remain consistent. And whatever you get, what you're worth to the organization, to your employer, they pay you what they need to pay you in order for you to show up tomorrow or next week or next whatever. And nobody's ever made $1 million working 40 or 50, 60 hours a week for an employer. Not to say that you should quit your day job. Don't quit your day job, especially in this environment. The unemployment is increasing for all ages, all age groups, but younger people are the ones that are disadvantaged because without the experience, without the qualifications, once again, with this guy, if he didn't have the training, if he didn't have the experience of how to play professional soccer, I mean, he's not playing, pickup soccer. He's playing professional soccer. You make one mistake, you're off the field. I mean, I think he's a striker, so he's not really on defense, but you get what you're worth. And whether you're working for an organization, you're working for a firm, or you create a firm, you get what you're worth to the consuming public. When somebody looks at something online or hears about something and says, I want to be here, that is what gets people out to the field, and that's what gets people to watch Isak. You get what you're worth. When people have a delightful experience, when people love something, they want to experience it again and again and again and again and again. And that's why Liverpool came and paid up the money. So they're going to sell more tickets, and they're going to sell more merchandise, and people are going to pay them more money to broadcast Liverpool FC games, whether it's streaming or television. And you get what you're worth to the consuming public, ultimately. Whether that is the beginning and the end. What else do I have? That's all I have on Alexander Isak. I think I'm going to end it there. I wish him all the best in soccer, and I wish you all the best for watching this video. Thank you very much. This is Tesla Mogas signing off. Thank you very much.